Let's make it responsive. We have the responsive screen design here. And if you compare it with the desktop and mobile, there are obviously spacing have been decreased. Navigation have been changed to a hamburger menu, and also the banner image came to the next line. Let's see how it behaves in a responsive screen. For that, we have this device emulator. When we resize it, we can see how it behaves in responsive screens. Here, the screen resolution is getting changed. But as you can see here, there is a problem. The entire layout is getting scaled down rather than acting as responsive, it is scaled down. What could be the reason for that? If you inspect in our head tag, there is this meta tag called meta name viewport and content width equal to device width initial scale is equal to 1. So we need to set a flag to prevent it from scaling it down. Let's see from where this meta tag is coming. If you look at layout.js, this is our parent component, but there is no meta tag that we can find, but it is coming from the Next.js. Next.js is configured it by default. Let's see how to override that. Let me search for meta viewport. Yeah, there you go. Let's copy this and paste it here. User scalable false will do the job. Remove that commented part and see how it acts. Now you can see the difference. It is not scaling down, rather, it just breaks. The layout just overflows. Here also, you can notice that newly added options are appearing. Nature scale is equal to 1, maximum scale equal to 1, and user scalable equal to no. That's about it. The first step would be making our container responsive. Let's check how our container behaves. Container have fixed width 1446, but if you look at the container width here, that tooltip, it is 1600. Or if I show it here, the padding is not really included in the width. It's outside of the width. That makes 1440 plus 80,600. But if you look at the design, and also another thing, the Figma stopped the dev mode. Now it is premium, and we don't have the premium, but we are gonna use our page ruler. We should be fine. All we need to make sure is our zoom level is 100%. That should be fine. If you look at our container width, overall width is 1440, including the padding. But including padding, we have 1600. How to make sure that it is 1440, including the padding? That's where the box sizing comes into the picture. If you give box sizing, border box, the padding will be included in the container, and that makes the container width 1440. But as you can see here, this is broken. Before fixing that, we need to make sure that this box sizing is applicable to every element in our website. In our CSS or style components, we can give a global CSS or a global style. But how do we create a global style in style components? Style components provides a create global style method. Let's check that out. Create global style. Try that in our layout.js, and for now, copy this global style, and instead of body, let's give a universal selector which selects each and every element in our application. Also, box sizing, border box, and we have to include that in our components. Along with the body, we need to make sure that we should use client method or use client directive at top of the component. I think in page.js we are already using that. We can do that here. Instead of layer.js, I'm moving that to page.js. And let's see if it is taken impact. Now we have the global style, and let's fix this broken search box. There is a left margin. We can get rid of that from search button. Let me go to the banner.js, and for button there is a margin left. We don't need that, and we are good. So now if you look at the container, we have 1440 as width. Still, this is a fixed width. When it comes to responsive, the width should be fluid. So how do we do that? Let's start off with setting a max width as 140. 140 equal to 100%. Now, when it is responsive, you can see the difference. See, at least the container is not breaking. If you inspect the container is not really breaking. Obviously, the contents are breaking. The navigation is overflowing. The banner image is also overflowing, but the container remains within the viewport. Let's start off styling the navigation elements, header, and then banner. We can hide these navigation elements entirely. If I go to header component, how do we hide the navigation element for mobile? We can use media queries. In style components, we can use the typical uh, CSS media queries. I just want to get the syntax using media queries. I think this should work. Let's consider 768 as mobile. So this is our style now. And instead of 1250, give 768 pixel, and under 768 pixel, we give display now. If you look at the mobile less than 768, the navigation is disappeared. Also, instead of display flex, we can give justify content space between so that it aligns on both the ends. If you look at the mobile screen, the elements are aligned towards each end. Justify content space between should work. Now, also for the container, we forgot to remove the padding. We have to make sure that there is no padding. What is the padding in mobile screen? The padding is 20 pixel. I think it's 20 pixel on both the end. Keep 20 pixel on both the end. Again, going back to the page.js, the padding for mobile is 20. Now the padding has gone. It is 20 pixel now. The elements are aligned on both the ends, but we have to reduce the padding for header also. What is the padding for header now? It is on top. We have 20, 26 pixel it shows, but we'll round it as 25, and on bottom also 25 pixel. Let's give that on header.js. For header padding 25 pixel. Padding on both top and bottom is 20 pixel, 35 pixel now. Now let's move on to our banner. Banner top doesn't have any padding at all. Okay, before moving to padding, let's bring the banner to the next row. How do we do that? This is a banner component, and we have display flex that makes the items align in single row. Let's break that. Let's grab media query, and if I go to banner.js, we have display flex. We'll give flex direction column, and it comes to the next line. We need some gap between the image and the text content. What is that gap? That gap is 17 pixel. I'm gonna give pixel or 15 pixel. 15 pixel should be fine. Column gap should be 15 pixel. This is flex direction. Oh, I think it should be row gap. Yeah, it's row gap. Row gap is 15 pixel. This banner have width of 100 percentage. The container should be flex space is 100 percentage. So image banner. This one should be flex space is 100 percentage. Even after giving flex space is 100 percent, it's not really taking the entire. Now it is taking the entire width, but image is not really taking the. We'll sort that out. Let's give instead of flex spaces, give width equal to 100 percentage. This is our image, and under style banner image, it's taking the entire width and height. Just to preserve the aspect ratio, I'm gonna give object fit cover. Now, if you look at the design, actually there is no margin on both the ends. So let's give a negative margin on both the ends so that it extend towards both the ends. But if you look closely, there is a margin for the body. Let's get rid of that margin first. Let's go to our page.js and under global style for body, we give margin 0 and padding 0. For the image container, top 0, left and right minus 20 pixel. It looks like it is not overriding that margin. How about giving a position to and left minus 20 pixel? For some reason, that margin, negative margins are not taken into effect. What I'm going to do is instead of width 100%, I'm going to use calc 100% 40 pixel, which is sum of both the margins 20 plus 20, 14, 40 pixel. Now it is extend towards both the ends. Image is sorted. Let's check out our text. The text looks fine. Only this search box is extend towards full width. It is because we have display inline block. Let's override that for search box. On mobile screen, it should be display block. It is extended towards the end, but there is a problem. Display flex. I'm gonna give instead of block, I'm gonna give display flex and justify content specificity. That should sort and align item center. Let's compare it with our design. Let me go to mobile, which is 375. Okay, what could be the reason? Something is causing some issue. That search box is causing some trouble. Let's try to identify the culprit here. In these scenarios, how to identify which one is breaking the layout. If I remove the banner text from here, from the dev tools, looks like our layout is not overflowing anymore. Let me undo that. And let's try to remove H1, but still it is broken. How about the subtitle? Still it is broken. But when I remove the search box, the layout is not broken anymore. The problem is with the search box. Let's try to identify what is causing that extra width. Basically, this input type text have certain font size which is 25 pixel, and by default it is taking certain width, and that is causing our search box to overflow the container. So let me go back to the design and let's do one thing. Let's identify the font sizes for mobile and we will update those. For search box, I have toggled back to the designer mode and let's identify the font size here. On the right hand side, it is 13 pixel. Let's update our font size to 13 pixel. For search box font size for mobile screens is 13 pixel. Search input. It's not breaking anymore. But obviously the font sizes are different. Let's start updating all the font sizes. And even I think the logo size is also different. But before that, the logo size is 81 by 25 and we have 130 by 44. Let's start updating the font sizes first and then let's modify the width and height or paddings. Let me identify the font size of banner, which is 22 pixel, banner title 22 pixel, and the subtitle 16 pixel, 16 pixel, and this one we have already updated. Button font size is also 13 pixel. Obviously the padding is also got reduced, but let's see how it acts. Now basically we have updated the font sizes. We'll update the height and width of the logo. The height and width is 80 by 25. It's 81 by 25, but I'm gonna give 80 by 25. Go back to the header and start logo. Gonna give height 25 pixel, width 80 pixel, and image 100%, width under object fit contain, just to make sure don't break the aspect ratio. That looks fine. And let's update the button. Font size is 13 pixel and the spacing. Let's check the spacing. We turn on the dev mode. 10 pixel. Spacing has reduced to 10 pixel, I guess. padding has reduced to 5. So 5 by 10. Oh, I think there is line height also. It's taking the line height also. It's almost same actually, 11 pixel. Is it because of the letter spacing? Or let me try to reduce the padding here. 7 by 10 looks fine, but let me try to identify what exactly going on here. Left and right padding width is 6 pixel. Let's give 6 on both the sides, and on top it's actually 7 to 8 pixel. But let me check the board radius. When I reduce the padding 8 and increase the padding on both the ends to 10 pixel, it looks almost same, but there is something is off. I think it's semi-pole. The font weight is semi-pole. Let's try to give the font weight as 600. Now it looks almost identical. Let's update this padding and font weight. Moving on, it looks like the spacing is also different, which is coming from the tight header, I think. Header margin top is not really required at all. Let's remove that. In banner container, margin top is 0. That margin top is gone. The spacings are fine, I guess, which is 15 pixel each, 16, and yeah, 15 pixel. This should be fine. Now let's look at the padding of our search box, which is 7 pixel. What we have around 12 pixel. Let's date that. On top hand end 7 pixel, and left hand end it's almost 30 pixel. Okay, so let's go back to our search box, and padding top and bottom is 7 pixel, right? Should be, think let's give 7 pixel. Left hand end it's 30 pixel. I'm not really sure why it is 30 pixel on left hand end. It's not really required at all. But it's not 30 pixel, it's 13 pixel. Width is 13 pixel. So let me update top, right, bottom, left as 13 pixel. Yeah. Now it looks fine. But also we have to update the button. Button top is 10 pixel. Left hand side is 15 pixel. Let's update that. Top 10 pixel and the left hand side is 15. It looks identical now. I think that's pretty much we have successfully made it responsive for mobile. Let's make sure that we didn't break anything in our desktop. It looks like our desktop remains the same, and in mobile we made it responsive. Ignore the bottom part because there might be some other content. Let's ignore that. So here there is a problem. We can actually make this width 100 percentage. The banner text container. Banner text container, which is this. Yeah, now it looks fine in mobile screens. But if you look at this screen resolution, this is like tablet view. Maybe we can as well. So this one is breaking. We can get rid of that margin and it should be fine. So if you look at the text box, oh, there is no margin. Let's reduce the gap. That should be fine. So what is the gap? Gap is 220 pixel. So let's do one thing. When this is breaking, 1400. Let's not give that column gap instead. Let's keep it as space between, justify content space between. In that case, it should be fine. We only need to worry about whatever comes below 1200. But let's give 30 pixel. Yeah. See now, even under 1200, it looks fine, right? Let's identify in which screen resolution it is breaking. So it is breaking exactly 1.4. Let's do one thing. In these situations, we may have to compromise certain things from the design. Not a major compromise, but definitely we have to do something. Let's reduce the column gap to maybe 100 pixel. and see how it works. Now it is not breaking from 1418, but it is breaking from 1000 or 1298 to be more precise. And it's because of the font size. Let's do one thing. Let's try reducing the font size also. 20 to 23. Now it's fine. So we are gonna compromise two things. The column gap. I'm gonna update the column gap to 100 pixel and search input font size to 23 pixel. In desktop, there will be a difference if you compare with the design. The width of the text have been increased. Now book unique homes and experiences and is in the first line. It's not really noticeable difference, but still, if you consider pixel perfect, it is a difference. If you try making it responsive until 2278, it looks fine. Under 1080, let's consider it as smaller devices or tablets. Now let's make changes under 1080. What are the things which is breaking again? The search input. Search box is breaking. Let's do one thing. Let's create another media query which is 1080 and we'll give the font size as the 18 pixel and max width 180 pixel. Now it's not really breaking until 1100, but still it is breaking. Let's reduce the column gap also. The 1000 to 80, the column gap should be maybe 30 pixel. So it's not really breaking until 1132. Here we can do is we can modify the button. Under 1000 to 80, the search box button font size we can update to 80 pixel maybe, and the padding is obviously 15 and 25 pixel. We can update that to maybe 10 pixel and 20 pixel. Let's see how it behaves. Okay, that's cool. And still it is breaking because of the padding. Let's reduce the padding also. Let's reduce the padding for the container search box. Yeah, this should be fine. Top, bottom, and right and left, maybe 10 pixel. Okay, let's get 15 pixel. Yeah, still it's breaking. Let's try removing the padding of the outer container. Let's reduce that. Below 1000 to 80, padding we can keep it as similar to 20 pixel. Let's get rid of this. Let's update below 1000 to 80 to 0 and 20 pixel and get rid of this. Now, if you look at it's on the edge. Looks like it shrunk too much. Let's keep it as 30 pixel. Now it is again fine. Yeah, it's not breaking till 68. We can create another media query under 1024. Under 1024, we can again modify the button or the font size. In banner, search box, this one, input 1024, size to maybe 14 pixel. And it's not breaking till 924. Still there are some issues. Maybe we can reduce the padding. Padding top should be fine and left and right 10 pixel. We need to make sure that it is not breaking till 768. So the button is causing some trouble. Search button 1024 padding we can keep the padding as pix and font size as maybe 14 pixel. Now it should not break till 768. Obviously image is taking more than expected. Let's reduce the image size. Banner image, it's below. Let's get rid of this because we don't have to repeat it, but we can give the width and height, maybe width as 400 pixel. See how it behaves. Okay, it's not really taking that 1024 pixel. It is taking. Now it should not break till 768. Yeah, it's not really breaking anything, but this font size can be updated too. The title, maybe a 30 pixel should be fine. Now it's not really breaking till 768. In desktop, it looks fine. For smaller laptops, it's still fine, nothing is breaking. Under 1024 also, it looks fine, except the header. Header navigation is causing some trouble. Below 1024, let's reduce the gap and let's reduce the font size also. Let me go to navigation header and this one. Let's reduce the font size to maybe 14 pixel. Also, the gap is 35 pixel. Maybe we can reduce that to 20 pixel. If you look at the navigation, that one is also looks fine. No, it's not really taking that the column gap. Sorry, 20 pixel. Now till 768, nothing is breaking, nothing is overflowing with each other. Of course, we can do the button size also. Button. We go to the banner and search box button. Copy this header. So it's responsive. Now it is completely responsive. If we load this web page in any device, it's not at all breaking. This is pretty much it. We have successfully made it responsive. This is adaptable to any screen resolution. I'm just resizing it. Post the screen available screen resolutions and it is not breaking at all. We have successfully made it responsive.